we all just see the same data. And that's why one of the things is my degree is in health and human performance. They changed it to health promotion and education, like right before I graduated. But one of the things that I had to take was like a high level epidemiology class. And that was something that our teacher smashed into our heads again and again, is like, it takes an expert to read the data. You have to be an expert to read the data. You can see the data and get 5 different conclusions from that data. So, you know, I'm not an expert, but man, when I look at it, I hear our governor talking about everything's going to be okay. We're just shutting down the counties that have a coronavirus. And I'm like, okay, every day I wake up, it's 5 more, 15 more, 36 more. Like, tell me we're going to be okay by the end of March. That's in 5 days, dude. Like, I don't like, you know, like, don't lie to me. Give it to me straight. Let's go, you know? And I think that's something that's something I was caught off guard with, right? I was unprepared for just how nasty this was going to be. In fact, I was just, it feels like 10 days ago, talking about, you don't need Zoom classes. You can do a Facebook group. It's fine. We're going to be all right. And I said, look, if we're only going to be down for a week, you don't need to set all this up. Make it a fun adventure. And then actually it's going to be, a month, a year, whatever. So, you know, but I'm prepared for the absolute worst, right? I've got my big banner that I'm about to set up in my garage. And theoretically, I'm going to be ready to pull this whole setup that we have in the studio into my house if we get some kind of worse shelter in place type order, you know, which I know some people are already doing it from their house.
Governor Cuomo.
I got one up from Mike Chat today, and he's in his living room.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they say to do that because people get upset if they find you're at your school and you're doing these things and you have other people working for you. You're not doing your part. So
yeah, I think we have to pay attention to. So I've never been guilty of ignoring people, right? I'm very guilty of, I don't give anything about whatever your opinion is. I'm gonna run my place, because for the last 15 years, every time some parent has said, you know, it's a good idea, it's been a terrible idea. But in this particular case, there's so much public scrutiny on businesses that, like, even if I think it's fine, even if I think it's fake and it's not even a real thing and it's not a big deal, the fact of the matter is I'm gonna get a lot of comments on that Facebook post or whatever where I say we're still open. I'm in this group, somebody added me to this group called like Support Local Tulsa Businesses. If you're not, by the way, it went from like 1,000 members when somebody added me to like 20,000 members in, I don't know, the course of a week. So if you are not in a group like that yet, you might create a group, business owners, because there's a lot of involvement there. But someone posted their tattoo shop, hey, you can still get ink, and people went after them. You know, like, how dare you? You know, it was bad. So I'm with it.
Let's see, we're RainMaker's giving everyone 5,000 credits.
That's nuts.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's a lot of text messages, and I think the text messages are a fantastic way to communicate. You know, I've sent an email every single day since we closed down on Monday, and except for Saturday. I decided to go the whole weekend and send one on Sunday afternoon. And I've had people reply back to the first email I sent on Monday. Like, the email on Monday said, hey, classes are canceled today. Not sure what's going to happen in the future. Pay attention. We'll get, you know, and some dad responded, well, are you going to give a refund? And I'm like, have you not read the 16 other emails? Right? And I know this, we all know this, but text messages are a great way people can respond back to them. You're in your RainMaker dashboard. It's not your personal number. It's RainMaker's number. So I think that's just a wonderful way to do it, to communicate.
Any suggestions on what to communicate?
One of the biggest things I think that you should communicate is like categories of communication. Like, you can't just send them text blocks of text messages, right? Like big essays. That's one of the things I see. Like, I'm sure you guys get hammered with business, like ads for business things, and it says email open rate on a good day is 20%. Text open rate's 92%. Yeah, but then you know what they do after you spam them with that text is they opt out and they complain to the FEC or FCC or whatever, right? Like, so again, the data, you have to read the data. We know that a 92% open rate on text messages for cold traffic doesn't mean anything. Now they're just pissed at you, right? Someone got a hold of my wife's number. I didn't even know this was a thing. We were like in our bedroom the other day, and she was like, oh, here's another one. Wants me to sign up for free, you know, it was like pornographic. And I was like, what? And she was like, oh yeah, I get them every day. They just hammer me text messages from like crazy things that like want me to sign up and stuff. So like people are pissed about that. But if you have your own members, they are definitely likely to read that and at least in some fashion digest it. So like what I want to respect their phone privacy, right? In terms of like their zen. I don't want to demand a response unless I need a response. So like, for example, we are coming up on April 1st. All of my after schoolers are going to have to tell me, are they going to do day camps or are they going to do, are they going to not do day camps? If they are not going to take the day camp, which is way more expensive than after school, if they're not going to do day camps for their after school tuition, then I need to go ahead and cancel them. I can take the hit for April and May, not that I want to. That's just how it's going to go. But what I don't want to do is wait until April 1st, assume they've all read the email, and then when I get 15 complaints, you're not even doing pickup. Why did you charge me? And then I pretend like I was proactive enough. So I am going to expect a response here on Friday. I'm going to call everybody first, and then on Friday I'm going to send a text. Is Adelaide, you know, do you want Adelaide to be charged on 4/1 for day camps? You know, and then like if I don't get a response there and they don't call me back and they haven't read the email, then I can be like, okay, here's your refund. Now, you know, do I have the correct phone number on file? But like, so that's like category 1 is like, I expect a response, but I'm only using that when I really, really need it. We also use that category 1 as during summer camps, we're in Tornado Alley. So when there's a tornado warning, we tell parents, motion Tulsa : I always say motion Tulsa : even though like they probably know it's from us. I don't want them to get a text that says your kid is safe, right? Like what are you talking about, right? Motion Tulsa : your child is safe, tornado warning, please text back for more information, right? Like parents probably haven't thought that we actually do have a plan, things like that. So that's like category 1. We expect a lot of responses. Category 2 for me would be like, we want them to do something. Like we want them to go to an email, click a link, log on to something. It's not extremely vital, but we do hope that we have some sort of action for them. Like one of the things that I do is I'll send a very important email. So I've been sending emails. Well, one of the emails is all of a sudden extremely important, like we don't have class today, right? And so I will say motion Tulsa : class is canceled today, more info in your inbox. That way, and I've actually gotten responses back. Hey, I didn't get that email. Oh, great. We had a misprint on your email. You opted out. I've had people that opted out in like 2013, then signed back up. And then when it tried to send them an email, they were on the DNS list. So RainMaker was like, hey, we're not going to send them an email. And they're like one lady said, she's been here forever. She's like, I never get emails from you. What are y'all talking about? And I'm like, oh my God, right? So she's like, I always get the text. So she got the important text, right? Go to your inbox, and she just happened to let me know that she didn't have our email on file. Or live classes starting today, more info in your email, click this link to sign on. I haven't done that yet because I really don't want people signing on from their mobile phone. I really want people signing on from like at their house, at their laptop, where they can set the computer down and let their kids do it. Plus, if I'm mom, I want to be on my phone, right? Like, I don't want a mom to be like, oh, hey, cool, look, it's Mr. William. There you go. Oh, wait a minute. I'm stuck for 45 minutes. You're occupied. I don't have to deal with you, but I don't have my phone. That stinks, right? So I haven't done that yet, but I might do that in the future, or like a link that I want them to click. And then like the last category is general announcements that you don't necessarily need them. You don't have more information for them. You just need them to know something that's not necessarily an urgent emergency, or that you don't need, or it might be an urgent emergency, but you don't need a response. You're not expecting them to go somewhere else. So when you think about it like that, there's actually a ton of communication that you can do via text and still be respectful of people's text messages, right? I know a lot of us follow Gary Vee, like the Gary Vee character. And I remember one of the first things that I heard him say was email was amazing before we all ruined it. You know, email was fantastic before marketers ruined it all. You know, it used to get 80, 90% open rates and like 40, 50% buys, because people were like, oh, wow, I got an email. Oh, neat, I can buy something. You know, oh, wow. And then we all ruined it. So and that's totally fine. But let's at least not ruin text messages. Let's at least let people think, I hate the way Bed Bath & Beyond texts me, but I like the way Johnny Karate texts me, you know? Is that kind of how y'all are using them now, or how are you guys using text messages now?
Like that.
Volunteers.
Just for mass announcements.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much that. Mass announcements.
And then, of course, the other thing is those text messages go out for missed appointments and MIA DNS. I put my MIA DNS on missing in action and like did not shows. Missing in action is a flow that we have if somebody, so like for example, somebody goes, they're supposed to be coming Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Thursday. They miss a Tuesday, no big deal. They miss a Thursday, they get an email. They miss the next Tuesday, they get a text. They miss the next Thursday, we're like, things are on it. We're calling them, things like, you know, tasks. But we use more texting. The longer they're out, the more often we use a text to get back in touch with them. Hey, haven't seen you guys in a while. Hey, everything's okay? Do you need a private lesson? You know, I'm happy to give a free private lesson to somebody who's been out for 20 days because they think, I'm not coming back. I was gone for 20 days. Mr. William probably doesn't even like me anymore, you know? And my kid, you know, dragging my kid to class, and they're embarrassed because they didn't get to practice their jumps the other day, and they know that all their buddies practice their jumps. So I do a lot of texting to try in that final phase of please don't quit. And then we also do a lot of texting for appointment shows, like scheduling people for appointments, which I know we probably don't have a lot of appointments right now, but tomorrow I am going to go like live, take my entire website, RainMaker, profit generators, everything, and convert it all to online classes to attempt to make the classes, people signing up for online classes. I don't have all of it structured out in my head yet, but it's not going to be a 30-minute meeting. It's going to be like a 3-hour meeting. We're going to go and go and go. In fact, there's a 2-hour limit on the webinars, on my webinars. So I imagine we'll probably have to do it in 2 parts because it's going to take a while. Has anybody updated any of their prospecting stuff to reflect the fact that you have online classes?
Mm-hmm.
Me neither.
I saw a couple people do a page where it lists all their online classes on their website, and then they can click right from there to join the classes, which I thought was pretty convenient.
That is good.
Is there anything we should be turning off on RainMaker, like MIAs and things like that?
Yeah, I have turned off my MIA flows for sure. I have kept on my survey flows, right? Because every 8th class, my survey flows are giving me input on how the class was. And in fact, I plan to go in and take that from every 8 classes to like every 3 classes, at least for just a little bit, so that I'm getting a lot of feedback from people. Not everybody feels comfortable giving you feedback. Like I have said, please give me feedback, please give me feedback. And a couple of parents have given us some feedback, but like, if it's not anonymous, they might not want to say, oh my God, this is terrible. Or they might not want to say, is there any way to have the class at noon because blah, 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 because my toddler is screaming in the background. Well, if there's only one toddler screaming in the class, she knows I know who it is. So she may want to give that anonymously. So like that survey has the ability to do anonymous. So I'm changing my surveys. I've turned off my DNS completely. If you have new member education flows that are going out on, like, let's say, like, we've had some new members. We signed up, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 some odd people prior to the world ending. So like, I don't want those people to have like, check in 30 minutes before class and we'll show you how to tie your belt. You know what I mean? Like, then they know that not only is this business like in chaos, but also they don't even know what the heck is going out to them. So if you have anything that's going out to new members or former members, you know, like, come back. We have former member flows that go out. We have did not enroll flows that go out. So like, somebody comes to class, if they didn't show, it goes, hey, are you sure? Hey, do you want to reschedule? Hey. If they didn't enroll, it says, thank you so much for coming anyway. By the way, here's a special. By the way, here's a coupon. So those kinds of things should definitely be turned off until you can change them to online. And don't edit. If you're changing anything to online, don't edit what you already have. Recreate it completely so that you can just turn your old stuff back on, you know? And then someday, if your school floods and you're out of it for 2 weeks, you can turn the online ones back on, you know?
So with the survey, are you keeping attendance?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And in fact, so in my setup here, I've got an iPad, and I had been doing the kiosk check-in, but there's no way. I'm actually just separated all my kids, and I'm putting them all in big, massive rosters. So like, 7 through 12-year-old parkour kids. I'm not doing it who I expect to have Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday. I want kids to come to as many classes as they want to come to. And I didn't think this at first, but I have to drag my children to class because they take it for granted. They're like, yeah, it's parkour at Motion Tulsa. I don't care, right? So I have to like force them to go to class. In fact, I have to have a different staff member pick them up from their school in a bus and bring them, and I have to not be present for them to go to class. Otherwise, they whine and moan about it. But day 1 of online classes, they took 2 classes because they're bored at home. They're like, yes, parkour is awesome, right? So I want my kids to come to as many classes as possible. So I'm putting everybody in a big, huge roster, and it's just check. Have you guys ever used roster attendance? Okay, yeah, that way. And I noticed that if a kid comes in late, I always say, all right, we go 3, 2, 1 motion. See you later. Good job. Come back on Monday or whatever. And I say, if you forgot to check in on the way out. Well, I can't do that right now because I'm prepping for the next class and it's just me. And I have kept all my team members away. I don't have anybody helping me. Like I don't want to see like people to see that. And B, I don't want your dang coronavirus. Stay home. I don't know how seriously you're taking it. So I'm going to change to roster schedule because I know for a fact that I missed 3 or 4 attendances yesterday of people that came in late, and then I didn't think about it, you know.
So what do you just do? You have everyone listed on Zoom or something? Everyone who's on there and just...
Every time, what I'm going to do is keep the iPad next to me, and every time somebody comes in, because I'm going to acknowledge them coming in anyway.
Okay.
Hey, Peyton, it's so nice you're here. It's no big deal that you're late. We're about to work on roundhouses. So excited. Everybody say, hey, Peyton. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to do that anyway so that they don't feel, because that mom is the reason that she's late, it's week 1. Why is Peyton late? She's 7 minutes late because her mom tried to click the link and nothing worked. And she was frustrated as heck. And she was like, I don't ever understand any of this stuff. And she's not my wife because my wife has already texted me all that. I hate this. Why doesn't this work, right? And I'm like, I don't have time for this drama. So like, I know that that's what's happened. And now that they log in, I want to make sure that they hear me say, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for getting here. So while I'm doing that, I can check Peyton in, you know, and I don't think anybody minds that small interruption.
So when kids log on, are they using their parents' account? I mean, how do you know?
Yeah, I have had some problems with, I see their face. I recognize their face, most of them. I am teaching a lot of classes that I don't normally teach. Like, I'm like, okay, so I have a 3:30, 4, 5, and 6-year-old class. I haven't taught a 4, 5, and 6-year-old parkour class in 2 years. So I don't know any of these dang kids. It said Waxman. And I'm like, oh, hey, Mr. Waxman. And I'm like desperately looking him up. I'm like, nice to see ya, Ruben. Hey, right? So like I am having some trouble with that. And if they don't have their camera on and it just says like the Brown family, I'm like, hey, Brown family, who do we have here? What student do we have? I can't see your camera. What student do we have? And the mom will be like, oh, it's Johnny. So that's been helpful.
Yeah, I saw, I think for the Frank Silverman did something on that today. I guess he's got 2 daughters and one was taking class and he logged down with the other daughter's name. So they kept calling her by the wrong name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a little difficult.
Yeah, and I actually, I have struggled because it says William Emotion Tulsa, like it doesn't say my name, and it's somehow the way that I created the account, it just grabbed my email address. I can't freaking change my name, and so just whatever. I guess it's my face. I have had trouble with muting people prior to them getting in. I'm gonna try that again today. I've had trouble with when I run it off my laptop. It's dual screening everything properly, but when I run it off, I've got a dedicated desktop now running it, and it's not dual screening, so there's some challenges. Oh, this is fantastic. You probably are only going to be able to find this on eBay right now, and I've already told a couple of my friends, so there might not be any. It's a wireless USB mic. I have wireless mics, but they're all mini jacks. So like I've had this for my DSLR forever, and you probably even recognize this if you've watched any videos. It's been clipped to my thing, but it's a mini jack, and a lot of modern computers don't have the ability to have this in as a microphone. So this was, I think this retails for $75, and I think I had to pay something like $175 on eBay for it because people know what they have at this point. They figured it out, but the sound quality between this $100 and whatever dollar Yeti microphone versus this is tremendous. It's got a little gain. Like you can turn down the volume essentially. I had some issues with it clipping because it was too loud. I might yell too loud. So that has really helped kids be able to hear me better because I'm in this echoey space. Even if you're in your studio, the fact that I can go, all right, everybody, so I'm going to take a bow. And what I always do in class is I say, Guardi stance, aya! But I don't face them. I go, bow, Guardi stance, aya! And then I turn around and start pointing to them because I want them to see left leg in the back. If I've got my mic on and I turn, I'm still talking to them. So that was really helpful on Tuesday versus on Monday where I just had the one mic. So y'all go get on eBay. I promise it's worth it. Your parents will appreciate it. Yeah. I don't have any stock in Samsung. I promise. I'm not gonna get anything. Oh my God. So have you guys had some participation in your online classes? Yeah.
Johnny's been doing really good. The only reason I know that because my grandkids are taking his class too. Down here.
Very cool.
Yeah, I serviced about 50 of my members on Monday. Right now I'm doing classes Monday, Wednesday, Saturday for now. Next week I started my kickboxers back up. It's just I'm by myself like you.
Yeah.
So we're just literally doing everything. I find with the RainMaker emails, some people don't respond to them. I have to directly send them another email from my Gmail, and
What do you mean?
I'm still small enough to do it where I can, like, if I really need to contact someone, like, hey, Pam, I need this, this, and this, and I send the same email. But I just feel like a lot of people skip over the RainMakers, and the text messages do work, but I realize my text messaging or my phone numbers are not set in the proper manners. So instead of sending, 400 messages, I'm sending 20. So I got to go through my members and look through again. And then I'll have a desktop now. So.
Well, so I will tell you that's one thing that we have changed is RainMaker has places for home, mobile, work, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If they are an after-school member and I need multiple numbers, we keep them in that order, whatever the parent, and we clarify. Now, this is your work number? Oh, no, that's my cell. Okay, we changed it all around at the point of enrollment. Same thing for summer campus. If they're just a karate kid, now which one is your mobile number? And I take that and I put it in all those slots. That way we're always calling the mobile number. I don't need their work number, right? And I want to make sure that mobile number, because like a lot of times they'll put that as home. And so like I put that in the home and the mobile. Now RainMaker only texts the mobile slot. So like if they only gave you a home number and you only put a home number in, it's not going to send it out. So you know what I mean? So you do have to, but I put that in all the areas because I just want anytime I have a team member looking somebody up, I want them to always attempt to call that cell number.
I'm gonna take your idea of just wait. Well, someone else told me this thing. I'm just gonna sit down by the end of the week and just call everybody. I'm only sending out 2 mass emails a week, Mondays and Wednesdays, so I don't overload them because I know I'm getting COVID-19 emails all day long from other businesses.
Yeah.
Twice a week, and I made a group chat on WhatsApp for my parents.
Here's what now I don't know. None of us are experts in this, right? I was talking to a friend of mine who's got an enormous school in Colorado, and he was like, you know, we're talking on the phone, and he was like, you know what makes me the mad, it's the most ridiculous is people that pretend a day after this happened like they were prepared for it. Like, oh yeah, we were totally you weren't prepared for a global pandemic. You might know how to use Zoom, but don't pretend like you were prepared. You might have pivoted fast, you might have pivoted hard, or you might have got it up and running in 48 hours. But nobody had the what if a global pandemic happens on their operational manual. Nobody knows what's going on. But I will say that I'm getting emails from global industrial supply that I order from sometimes, and the janitorial company, and Active Campaign, what we're doing to keep you safe. You're an email provider. I don't need to hear from you. So you're right about that. However, I've been irritated that I haven't received hardly anything from the school that I pay $2,000 a month to my kids to go to, and we're not going to. So I'm fine to keep paying it, but can you communicate with me? I haven't received anything from my kid's dance teacher, except for I got one email about, hey, we're still open, and then one that followed that up with, actually, never mind, because you probably got some, bad responses, and then one other. So like we've been emailing every day. If you don't want to be updated every day, you can pass over it. But to me, I'm going to email, and I'm emailing in the afternoon. I'm going to email you every afternoon because things are changing by the hour, and I don't want people. Now you might not have that much information to put out, but we've got camps and after school and things like that, and I want people to be connected as much as possible. So I don't think there's any one way to do it, but if somebody's hearing that, I don't necessarily think that Johnny Karate and his relationship with his members is the same as Johnny Karate's members' relationship with Costco. Of course, no one cares about how they're keeping them safe. It's just, do you have the toilet paper or not? Like, get out of my inbox, So
I am using other means of connection every day.
Yeah.
I'm just doing mass emails every day. Mass emails, trying to reach everyone again. And I'm like, hey, please check for Zoom and video training. And then I'm on our WhatsApp every day saying, hey, this is a cool video I made. On our Facebook group, hey, this is a video, check it out for an extra ticket, because I'm going to start giving tickets out for participation. And I'm sending worksheets as well. Of course, not everyone's sending me the worksheet. Most people are doing live classes. Some people send me on WhatsApp. I just got a kid doing the challenge. I want him and his mom, over
yeah.
here. I created things like that. So the challenge, I took your idea of doing the challenges, and for my advanced students, they're getting 5 days of training now if they want to, plus challenges.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. Is like my first thought was, holy crap, how are we going to keep all of these members, right? And then as I realized, wait, we're all in this global pandemic together. When this is all over, I want people to know that, yes, Mr. William is an angry curmudgeon, but when it came down to it, he did every single thing possible to get us, to keep us together, and to we serviced our members to the 100% best of our capacity. If there's anything that we could do better, I'm going to go deliver Wave Masters in my truck to people's houses over the weekend. If they want to. If they want to come pick them up, I'll set it out there. But if they're too scared to come out, I will Amazon set it on their patio. And that is just not me. So, but I'm going to do it anyway. because I want them to know, not I want to keep their tuition, but I want them to know that we care that as much as we possibly can. So, and how are you guys? Is anybody getting equipment out to their people?
I try to get AWMA to send me pads. I'm not going to get pads until like a while from now. That's my goal. I was going to be like, all right, can I sell packages for online training? Online training, you get equipment, a uniform sent to your house. I mean, like in my neighborhood, if it's walking distance, I'll walk. I mean, I'm for the most part, no one gets mad at me because they know I seclude myself in my studio. I live a couple blocks away. This New York, a couple blocks away. It's a 3-minute walk from my house, and I don't make contact. I just get my coffee in the morning. That's about it.
Yeah.
You're just saying, give it out, right, William? You're just saying, like, hey, all our people, we got all our gear sitting here. We don't need it.
Yep.
Come in and get stuff. So when we're doing our, live classes, you got stuff to punch and kick.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've heard two things. I've heard, hey, get the parents involved, and I've heard, hey, give the parents a break. And I think that there's validity on both of those things. But for example, like on Wednesdays, we do sparring and weapons. And it's not really sparring, but we put gloves on and they're like ducking and they hit each other a little bit. But like, I want a wave master and I want them to strap their gloves on and I want them to be like, hey, that's your favorite sparring partner. Let's do these combos. And if they've got a bag, they're a little less likely to quit. Hey, moms and dads, this bag is absolutely free. My only request is that you bring this bag back if you do need to cancel. Okay, well, I don't want to bring that bag back yet. I don't know. Maybe it's a hook, maybe it's not. But I also do want them to have something to practice with. I want the martial arts to be on the top of their mind, if they have room for it. If you don't have room for it, okay, you can just shadow box. No kid is going to be like, I'll shadow box when everybody else has a wave master in their house.
In every video, I tell them to use a pillow if they don't have equipment. I'm like, I have a Muay Thai mat. I'm like, this looks very much like a pillow. You guys can use a pillow.
Yeah. I'm
getting videos of pillows.
Yeah.
Or toilet paper. One of my black belts, she was punching the toilet paper roll for me.
That's funny.
Hilarious.
I don't know, man. I think it's uncharted territory, and I think we're doing one of the things that I think that we should all be pretty proud for is our industry has really moved fast, and we have all moved fast, and that is not the case for all movement-based industries. I see a little bit of the dance world. I don't know much about the gymnastics world, but I know that there was a couple of gymnastics gyms that are out in the suburbs who were not expressly told to shut down, and they were called out pretty hard. Why would they still be open? It's only because they couldn't think of how do we transition. Same thing with the dance. Like my kid's dance teacher, I didn't get an email about, hey, here's the Zoom classes. I responded to her, hey, YouTube videos are great, but did you know we're running live online classes? And she was like, oh my God, because they're like 2 blocks down. I was like, you want to come over and see what we're doing? And she was like, yes, when? So, our industry has done well. We're doing well. We're going to survive. You guys are doing great. Keep it up. Cool.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, guys.
Very, very good. Excellent.
Thank you.
Sir, when do we have our meeting?
Is it tomorrow?
I don't know.
I'll look it up and I will text you because I just go day by day. I'll text it to you.
I'm lucky. I'm having a meeting every day. We'll talk soon.
Pretty close. Take care.
Look at this.